There we go. I had the spinning wheel for a little while, so I wasn't sure if it was going to complete. But hi, we're here. Welcome to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Amanda, and we're going to spend this next hour tapping together doing EFT or emotional freedom technique, this sort of a thing, if you've seen it before. If you haven't, don't worry. I will guide you through it as we go along. You'll be a pro by the end of this session. I got started just a literal minute or two early, just because I wanted to recap just a few quick things about our company, EFT Universe. First is that today is the last day for enrollment for certification for this term. So that means that it will close today at midnight, and then your next time to enroll will be in 6 months from now, generally sometime around September, October. So just in case you weren't aware and you were thinking about it, that's your timeline. That's how long you have to think about it. If you have questions about it, email me. I can send you links for things. I am more than happy to help guide you through the process of making that decision. If you were aware of the workshop that we had last night, it was just an hour long. It was on preverbal prenatal trauma. And I love, so if you know Miriam Paninsky, she's the consciousness director at EFT Universe. Her educational background is on early childhood trauma. So her ability to really hone in on this with EFT is immense, just because of her background and the knowledge that she has surrounding that. So you may only know her as a spiritual person, which of course she is as well, and all of her extensive practice in that. But you may not be aware of the educational background that she has as well. She's just this incredible superhuman. And she led this session last night, and it was overwhelmingly positive I think it was around 600 people who were on the workshop. There's no recording. I'm sorry. It's something that was live and live only. But I want to let you know, whether you were on it or not, that the techniques that were used are things that we do here pretty much every week. It was within the boundaries of like the 48 clinical technique or clinically verified EFT techniques. But the main one that was used is chasing the pain, which is where you identify things inside of the body. So sometimes it's easy to forget how impactful these very simple and straightforward techniques can really impact the brain. People were talking about they accessed and were able to, oh, what's the word? Integrate experiences from when they were 2 years old, an infant, a baby, and in that little short window of time, last night. So what we do here really is huge. But sometimes I don't emphasize that as much as I maybe could, because I want to tap. I don't want to sit here and talk about it. So, but it was a powerful reminder last night to hear how you being aware of that can really have an impact. So I just wanted to share that with you before we got going today. I'll finish my little intro spiel and then I'll get into saying hello. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. The way you can participate today, if you would like, is we have a live chat going, which I do check multiple times throughout this hour. Just drop in anything if you would like to participate into the chat that you have on your mind, something that that is clinging onto you that you want to get rid of, or something that you wish you had that you haven't received yet. Anything that feels like a block or a frustration in your life, and it can be something as small as like a pet peeve, I love my partner. We have a great relationship, but they constantly leave their socks all over the house. And I don't know why, but this feels so insulting to me. And then I don't want to be close to them. And it just, I don't know why socks are such a barrier for me, but it is. That's important. And part of what I was just talking about in the subconscious brain is attach something to it. And tapping can really help release that. So it doesn't have to be like your biggest thing. We can start small, but it allows you, this session allows you to make that connection and to really feel the results of what EFT can do for you. And I love that I get to be here with you and doing that. Okay, I'm going to say hi, and then we'll get going. Hello, Mama Hutch. Oh, your flowers are everywhere. Oh, so it was the pollen. Here too in Washington State. Oh, hi, Eva. Ava from Sweden. So glad you're here. Um, okay, not sure about your comment, Toxic Angel. Hi, Dr. Scott. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Violet. Uh, yes. Any background on Marianne's website? I don't know. I know she just launched a business, and it's in the student Facebook page. I'm not sure where else that she's announced it quite yet. I will check with her on that. Send me an email because I can't promise I'll remember by the end of this session. So send me an email, Dr. Scott, and I will get that information to you. Hi, Fern House. Chronic pain coming up again. Made progress, but you're having a flare up. Great. Thank you for mentioning that. We can tap on that today. Hi, Sally. um, you don't finish the program you start. Is that why I don't certify for EFT? Can you help? Sure. Um, there's so much that can be behind that. So many reasons why we start things and don't finish them. So I love that you brought that up today. Thank you. Zahara, hi. Hi, Richard. Um, Violet, would love to tap on eradicating tiny panic attacks around finding a new job when you're an older woman. Okay. I am on the same wave of Sally. Um, okay, great. Thank you for that. Okay, and Mama Hutch, 11 weeks since accident, celebrating really strong lower back. Yay! I'm finally able to walk for a mile on flat surfaces. That's amazing. Trying daily to accept and embrace small wins. Absolutely. And that's, I mean, a mile, that's a huge win. That's a huge win. So congratulations on that. So I think acceptance for acknowledgement and acknowledgement of self, celebration of self, allowing for that would be a great tap, and could possibly tie into finishing things as well. Okay, and I don't have any emails to contribute from community members today. So thank you for the suggestions that you've put in here. Let's get grounded for just a minute, and then we'll jump right in. Okay, so go ahead and pay attention to your body. Just call attention to how you're sitting, how you're feeling. If you feel like you're gripping somewhere, if that needs to relax, if you need to shift, if your limbs are asking for a little bit of movement, a little bit of rotations before we get into it, whatever signal your body's asking for to really receive the sign of now's a time where we can relax a little bit. And let's go ahead and take a breath. Just let your body sit for a moment and calibrate. And let's go ahead and take a second breath. We're going to ground today in a way that we usually don't. I usually ground first and then we start tapping, but I want to show you how you can ground while tapping. Okay. So just choose any tapping point. My arms are feeling kind of weak today, so I'm actually going to do this. This feels most comfortable for me. So find just whatever tapping point feels comfortable for you, where you can help your body relax as much as possible. And continue to focus on your body as we're tapping. We're not focusing on any words yet. We're just drawing our attention to our body. And we know we have the intention of grounding. What exactly is grounding? Maybe grounding, for the intentions of right now, means permission to be present. Permission to be present in this moment, to be physically present, to be mentally present, to be geographically present. And what I mean by that is allowing all of your bits and pieces of your consciousness, of your awareness, to be geographically located where your body is. That if you have any parts of your awareness that are out there somewhere, that they are able to be recalled and brought in closer to you. And so with the intention of grounding and bringing our awareness back, let's focus on our feet. And just think about the parameters of your feet, the shape of them, the size of them, the temperature of them right now, and feel the energy in your feet. And if you don't feel a lot of energy in your feet, that's okay. Ask your energy if you can recall it back to your feet. Just really fill your energy with feet as if you're pouring it in from a pitcher, or you're calling it out of the wind or the waves of energy from the universe, and just really allowing your feet to become full with vibrant, present energy. And now let's focus on our lower leg. So that space in between your ankle and your knee joint. And as you focus on the parameters of this space in your body, allow that same permission, that same wave of energy, of your energy, to really feel into this space. Fill, F-I-L-L, and feel, F-E-E-L, into this space. Allow your lower leg to just become alive with awareness. And let's take a breath here. And now let's focus on the space of our legs, the upper leg that is in between the knee and the hip. And as you focus on this space, notice how hollow or how full that this space already feels. And allow energy, your awareness to fill up this space. And allow it to completely become saturated with your energy and the energy that is supporting you. I'm switching arms just because my arms are tired. If you want to switch spots on where you're tapping, please give yourself permission to do so. And now let's focus on our midsection, our trunk of our body, which is considered the space in between like the hip joints, the pelvis, all the way up to like the neck and the shoulder joints. So this whole middle section, this really important middle area that we have that houses so many of our organs, so many of our bodily processes, so much of our energy that is housed here. Allow yourself to really feel into this whole space that is the center of our bodies. And feel the energy flowing into this area, into the different spaces below your belly button, above your belly button, but below your ribs, the space in between your ribs, and the space in between your ribs and your neck. And give permission for that whole space to be full of your energy, of your awareness. Let's take a breath here. And now let's focus on our arms, our upper arm, our lower arm, and our hands, that whole area. And just feel the energy sweeping down from your shoulders into your elbows, into your forearms, into your hands. And allowing that energy that is you, your awareness, and the energy of the universe coming to you and allowing you to be fully present within the space and the boundaries of your own arms. And lastly, draw your attention to the space that is your head and all of the energy that is encompassed within this. Our consciousness, our thought process, our connection to our past, present, and future. All of the energy that is housed within this space from our neck to the top of our head and in between our ears. And really allow for this powerful energy that's housed here to be drawn into this intimate space, to come in from where it's been out in the cosmos and really just be in this small, intimate space for now. And let's take another breath. Okay, I'm going to take a few moments to set an intention for this tapping time. You are welcome to join me if you would like. It is my intention that for this time that we have here together, for all of us to feel the connection that exists, because even though we are all around the world having very different experiences and needs and desires in life, that we are united as a community in this purpose as we spend this hour together. And there is power in that. There is true value in that. And there is real empowerment in that. And all of that comes with an energy, with a vibration. And that vibration carries through, even though there may be great physical space between us. That energetic space is small and we are connected. And it's my intention that you get to feel that today and that you get to feel that you matter and that you are valued just for showing up and whatever space that you are, and that your value doesn't depend on the positivity or the clarity or the contribution of wisdom. It's important for you to be here because the wavelength that you share brings recognition to others who are in the same space. And the wavelength that you share, the questions that you ask, the comments that you pose, help someone else feel and acknowledge their own space and have awareness and insight and connection, and that you know that you bring value in just being you in whatever space that you are. And that by tapping here today, you get to feel better. You get to feel relief. You get to feel insight. You get to feel stronger. And you get to feel loved. Okay, let's take a breath. All right, I'm going to refresh my memory and read the other comments that have come in, and then we'll get right to tapping. Do, 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 do. Okay, Toxic Angel, what do you think about these people teaching sexual trauma release? That is a big question. And I have multiple answers for that. It depends, like I want to narrow down the aspect, but that general of a question, it's a touchy place because there's so much potential trigger in that, right? That it really takes the right education, not just about trauma, not just about sexual trauma, but also ethics and boundaries, so that as you, as a person, are guiding someone else through this highly intensive space, that you know how to do it in a safe way for them, and to gauge that, and to know that their progress based off of their own signals is all that matters. And the progress may be very slow, and it may need to be extremely dissociative at first. Finding a safe place when there's been that sort of violation can be, it can take a while, and it really takes a lot of knowledge and awareness to be able to help someone through that. I never recommend taking anyone else through anything like that unless you've had the proper training. It is so important for that. Having said that, there are people who do have the proper training, and there are people who have had significant, meaningful, impactful releases by being led through that with someone else. I've had both. I have trusted people who didn't have the proper training, and it was triggering, and it did add to my trauma. And I have, thank goodness, had releases that were beyond impactful for me, because of working with someone who had the proper training, and knew how to watch me and guide me through my experience. Also, because I am certified and learned the tools myself, I've taken myself through some things, and all of it was good, positive progress. But that training is so direly important. And it is frustrating for me as a practitioner to know that there's not better boundaries to protect people, to know the difference, and that they're putting themselves in a potentially vulnerable situation without the right support. That was a long answer. And I usually don't answer questions like that, but I I had to get on my soapbox for that. Okay. Hi, John. Hi, Marion. Um, oh, I'm glad that you made it. Sorry you had technical difficulties. Hi, Sophie. Feeling big waves of grief. Okay. Um, Hi, Karen. Needs support on anxiety, comfort, stress eating. Okay. We've got a lot of emotional things coming up today, which is great because I really think we're going to be able to make some good progress. And Mama Hutch, Sally, Martin, I struggle with completion, especially over the past few years. Not sure if certification is possible. Illness, setbacks, trying to focus on small wins. Okay. John. Oh, thank you, John. That's so sweet. Thank you. Ruru Adventures, love your name. Thank you, love. EFT helps healing. Karen. Oh, my hairdo. Thank you. I'm hoping that Amanda can help Mama Hutch. Oh, so sweet. Hi, Donette. So happy to have you here. Okay, Zahara, self-accusation, evolving growth mindset. Awesome. And I think that that is kind of the other side of all of these other things that are being brought up of not being able to finish and move forward, and anxiety about moving forward. So I love that you brought that up. Thank you, Zahara. My angel divine. Hello, everyone. I'll love you too. Sharmila, positive vibes for divorce court date. Ooh, you got him, honey. Hi, Roma. Okay, let's jump into tapping. So there's so much that I feel like is kind of along the same thread in kind of a timeline or arch of wow, I'm not gonna be able to say this word right now. Actualization. Am I saying it right? Doesn't matter. Let's move on. And being able to allow yourself success, see success, recognize support for your success, recognize yourself along the journey of success rather than seeing it as a black and white. And the wisdom of, do I need to push for this success? Is this something that I push for? Do I release myself from this expectation? Because those are really difficult to determine sometimes as well. So to jump into this, where do we start? I'm going to start from the angle of self-trust. And that's it, just self-trust. That's what I'm going to start with. And it's going to be a broad topic, and we're going to explore multiple angles of that from these points that you have brought up. So let's go ahead and start tapping. If self-trust resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, feel free to choose a different word and replace my word with yours as we tap. Go ahead and get focused on one aspect of this process of self-trust, where it's coming up for you, whether it's completing something. I feel wrong. I feel broken in this way. I don't trust that I know what to do here. I don't trust that I can figure it out. I don't trust that if I get going that I'll be successful. Whatever way that rings true for you. I'll give you just a moment to figure that out. Okay, thank you for the feedback on that. As I consider this current situation and my lack of self-trust with it, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even if I immediately feel a pushback on that statement. And what I heard myself say is, I don't accept myself, and I don't resonate with that. I still choose, even with all of that, to deeply and completely accept myself. Even if right now, with my lack of self-trust, I do not accept myself at all. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that this is where I am. I accept that it's not where I want to be. I accept that I have a lot of feelings surrounding this. I accept that I don't feel like this is okay. I accept that it's complicated and complex. And I accept that it feels really disheartening and discouraging. and I do not feel empowered towards any kind of solution. And I resolutely decide that even with this huge mess in front of me, as I dive into this topic, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. But why? Why would I accept myself within this? None of it is acceptable. So how can I say that I deeply and completely accept myself? I wonder, where did I learn that I deserve abandonment when I struggle? Where did I learn that what I deserve to give myself when I can't figure something out is judgment? Even though what I have learned is to be harsh and cruel and unsupportive of myself when I'm already struggling. Right now, I am choosing instead to deeply and completely accept myself. I choose to deeply and completely accept myself, even though this may be the first time I've ever done this. Denying myself, being harsh to myself, isn't working. If it was going to work for me to be mean to myself, it would have worked a long time ago. But maybe this is the only tool set I was given. Maybe I haven't known other things that I can choose. Maybe the only support I've ever known is to create an environment where I'm so uncomfortable, so miserable, that I finally choose to run away from it. And that's how I succeed. Even if right now I'm realizing the tools that I currently have aren't what I want, and I don't know what tools I can get to succeed, I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. I still don't know if I will be able to succeed. I still don't know if it's right for me to keep trying. But I acknowledge right now that being mean to myself, judging myself, hurting myself isn't it. And maybe I didn't even know that that's what I was doing. But I acknowledge it now. And maybe I need to go back and release some things attached to this. Maybe I need to revisit this in a lot of depth. But I give myself permission to hold on to that for later, to hold a really safe place to set that for now, that I can go back to it later. But right now, I give myself permission to pursue support, to pursue ideas, to become curious, of becoming aware. Now that I know to question it, I give myself permission to see things differently, maybe as quickly as right now. This situation my tools for this situation, my ability to succeed, my ability to try to succeed, my tools to support my try, my tools to trust my try, my tools to celebrate and acknowledge my try, new tools, finding new tools, new tools of perception, new tools of insight, new tools of action, new tools of assessment, new tools of adaptation, new tools of kindness, self-kindness, new tools of love, self-love, new tools of support, self-support, my tools, permission to find my new tools. Releasing old tools. Holding space. Holding space to distance myself from old tools and holding space to receive and explore new tools. I wonder, what is true? What is true about me? What's true about me as a person? What are the things that I've told myself in the past, maybe as recently as this morning? And are they true? Have I called myself helpless? Have I called myself ignorant or foolish, incapable, lazy? Are those things true about me? Or am I judging myself purely based off of what hasn't worked? Am I judging myself based off of my moments of overwhelm, based off of moments that I would consider failures? Whether or not I am completely judging myself off of these moments that aren't really fair to be everything, I wonder, is that helpful? Is it helpful for me to look at myself in this view, in this perspective, and say, I'm winning, yay, I'm losing, boo, I'm losing, boo, I'm losing, boo? What has that actually given me? Does that allow me to move forward in the ways that I would like to see movement? I wonder, what other way could I look at it? What other choices do I have other than judging my behavior and shifting it? Even though right now I may be having a difficult time discovering how to best support myself, I'm open to discovering it. And I give myself permission to ask questions and to be curious now, and as long as I want to afterwards. Because I wonder, how is it that a person gains a construct of moving forward anyway? Is it something that I was handed? Possibly. Is it something that I observed? Possibly. Is it something that I sat down and I thought about and I considered and I gained information and made a decision to try? Possibly. But how much of that did I just do based off of what someone else said was right or worked, and what I asked myself and trusted how I felt about it? Have I ever truly consulted myself to see what felt good for me? Well, how do I know it feels good for me? I'm not the expert in these sort of things. There's so many people who do studies and have value in their opinions because it's their livelihood, it's what they went to school for. Okay, if that's what I'm thinking, there's validity in that. But I wonder, what if I sat down with these people that I'm trusting their opinion on, and I spoke to them personally, and I shared with them my struggles and my thoughts and my habits and my outcomes? Is it possible that they would give me different advice? Is it possible that my input, my feelings matter for how I can move forward? Maybe with all of my information that I have gathered, the missing piece is listening to myself and allowing to show up for myself and trust what I feel. No, I don't think that's it. I don't think I need to trust myself. After all, I haven't proven myself to be trustworthy at all. I mean, just look at my results. I'm terrible at it. I haven't succeeded in ways that I really want to with all of the support that I've been given in so many ways. I don't want to look at that. Even if I am hearing these sort of statements or others as I consider trusting myself, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. It's okay if I don't trusting myself. It's okay if I have hesitations. It's okay if that feels scary. Or it's okay if it doesn't feel like it's going to be right. Like I'm just going to be wrong. If I trust myself, it's just going to be wrong. But I wonder, where did those ideas come from? And is it possible that I deserve a second chance? Is it possible that I deserve another chance to try trusting myself? When was the last time I really tried it? And can I give myself permission to try again? And maybe I have a lot of baggage attached to it, and I can go back and look at that, or I cannot. But maybe I can give myself permission right now for a second chance without any strings attached to it, without having to go back through all the history, to just say, okay, self, I'll give you another chance. I give you another chance to contribute on how we move forward. But what does that look like? How do I trust myself? Maybe I don't even know the steps to trusting myself. Maybe what trusting myself looks like is acknowledging my input as I go along. Maybe it has to do with when I sit down to study, I'm good for 15 minutes and that's it. Maybe trusting myself looks like building a study curriculum around 15-minute intervals. Maybe I acknowledge when I'm feeling overwhelmed and what helps me to not be overwhelmed. Maybe I look at the things in my life and how I accomplish things that I do accomplish. And I analyze how I get those things done. Like, how do I get eating done? How do I get sleeping done? How do I get showers done? How do I get bills paying paid done? And maybe I can start to find some clues in there. It's okay for this to be a new space for me. It's okay for me to want to find better tools for myself. And even though right now I may not know how to do that yet, I give myself permission to try. And I give myself permission to be really, really honest. Because maybe I'm trying to push really hard to do something that I don't really know why anymore. Or that I just don't have the energy for it anymore. And it's okay if that makes me sad. It's okay if that is something that I have to grieve as a missed opportunity or something that I put down for now that I maybe come back to later. But I give myself permission to explore that and to ask that so that I can get my own genuine answer. And I hold space for myself to have multiple conversations. It doesn't have to be a one-time thing. Maybe I see how I feel about it over the course of the next week or the next month. Maybe that's what trusting myself is. Maybe that's what considering my own input looks like. And as I allow myself to integrate my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own considerations into my processes of looking for success, I give myself permission to be at the beginning and acknowledge what feels good and trust that that is a good sign for me to continue to follow. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Pause and take a breath. Now take a moment and consider where you felt at the beginning of that tap and where you feel now. What you might feel is just a little less heaviness associated with it. Maybe you feel a little less doubt. Maybe you don't quite feel positive into it yet because you haven't found like a finish line, right? But if you alleviated any of the stress that was on top, that's a good sign that you've reached a place in your subconscious brain where it says, okay, some of what you said makes sense. And I like that process. I do want to switch to that. So hopefully you felt that. And if you had any yawning, if you felt tired, if you were deep breathing or sighing through that, those are also signs of a positive outcome. And good job for that. Okay, we've got enough time for another really good tap. And I know that took up a lot of the time, so I hope that that was beneficial for you. I want to refresh things here. Oh, good. Thank you for you both for letting me know. And you too as well, Violet. Thank you. Will you refresh what was brought up so I can try and get you taken care of? Okay. Apparently you get hold music. Okay, I know there's a few physical things, the physical body that was brought up. Maybe we'll just go with some chasing the pain because that's such a beautiful tool that can be used for the sensations of what we're going through. Oh, good, yay! Okay, thank you for the feedback. I'm so glad that was helpful. So in this process, if you don't know what chasing the pain is, it doesn't necessarily mean physical pain. What it means is how do you know? How do you know what is bothering you is currently bothering you? And drawing attention to where you are experiencing that in your body. So if it's grief, how do you know you're feeling grief? What does that feel like to you and where in your body? You know, most people say it's somewhere in their heart or in their chest. Sometimes it's in their throat. Some people have, pressure in their head. If you're feeling anxiety, how do you know that? If you're feeling something physical, like, oh, my hip's really hurting. How do you know that? Well, I feel it in my hip. So it's first getting clarity on just where you're feeling it and what that sensation is for you. And then we're going to tap on that. So my words are going to be incredibly broad. Whereas yours, I want you to take what I'm saying and make it more specific to you. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and start tapping. Begin to focus on your body. And whatever this ailment is that's left that you would still like to tap on today, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, how do you know it's there? How is your body expressing to you that this is present for you at this time? And allow yourself to get some parameters on it of where exactly it lives in your body and what sensations is it bringing up for you. And it may be things like it's this color, it's this smell. If it made a sound, it would sound like this. And that's great. Even if it's something that feels a little bit like, well, I don't know if I'm making that up, to your subconscious brain, it still tags it as important, which is what we're trying to do. So allow yourself to be creative with that. This is a great time to do that. And as you gain clarity on where this is in your body and how you know that, allow yourself now to also consider what it would feel like if that were gone. What would you like to feel in this space instead? What would that feel like? And how would you know that you had received that? How would you know that that had taken its place? In what ways would your body let you know, oh, this is now what we feel? What sensations would this great space feel for you in that area? What color would it be? What texture would it be? What temperature? What sound would it make? What smell? What flavor? All of these things. As I consider this experience in my body that I'm having right now, and the experience that I would like to have in this space instead, I deeply and completely accept myself. I acknowledge this experience that I'm having. I acknowledge that it's real. And as I acknowledge this space, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, is it possible for me to allow the sensation that I want to exist in my body? Can it exist in my body with me simply holding space for it, without a diagnosis, without a medication, without time or space or intervention in any other way? Is it possible for me to just receive it? Yes. No. No way. Whether or not I currently receive a yes or a no to this question, I give myself permission to be curious about it. I give myself permission to be surprised at the possibility, even if right now I don't believe in it at all. I hold space to be proven wrong. Because wouldn't this be an amazing thing to be proven wrong about? Well, I wonder, what if I could allow for this happy space? 2%, just 2% into my body. 98% the reality that I'm feeling right now, but maybe 2% of what feels good. Can I allow that in my body? I wonder, how is it that good feelings happen anyway? Is it always external sources? No, actually, it isn't. Because isn't it true that there are multiple studies, like probably thousands and thousands of studies about the benefits of meditation, about the benefits of tapping, about the benefits of smiling, the benefits of laughing? None of those come from an external source. Those all are internal, but they give real physical results. So I wonder, I wonder, maybe it is possible for me to give myself permission to feel better right now. Even if the ailment isn't gone, even if it isn't gone 100%, maybe it is really possible to feel better right now. And I give myself permission to feel better and still acknowledge what I'm going through. I can feel better and still be healing from something that's painful or chronic. I give myself permission to feel better and still be going through stages of grief or anxiety or concern or unknown outcomes. I don't have to suffer to be valid. I give myself permission to have some peace and to release what isn't necessary in my body at this time. And as I give myself permission to release what I don't need while maintaining my own validity of my experience, I deeply and completely accept myself. And maybe it feels vulnerable. Maybe it feels vulnerable to allow myself this good thing, to give my own permission to heal. That's okay. I'm allowed to feel vulnerable. And maybe it doesn't quite feel safe. And maybe I don't even know why. To whatever degree I can respectfully offer myself this gift, I give myself permission to do so. And if it doesn't feel safe or if it feels too vulnerable, then I give myself permission to package it up and to hold it as close as I can at this time and give it to myself when I can receive it. Because it isn't gone. This isn't a one-time offer. Maybe I do need more support around this. And if I do, that's okay. I give myself permission to receive when it is best for me to receive. And I give myself permission to release when it is best for me to release. Release. Receive. I wonder, how much can I receive right now? Maybe I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. And even if I don't receive any of it, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay to be curious and give it a try. I don't need to judge myself for this. As I give myself this permission, I now focus on this space in my body. And I give myself permission to feel good and to feel all of the wonderful sensations pouring into my body and really saturating this space with soothing, with comfort, with love, with warmth, with gentleness, with kindness, with joy, with brilliancy, with vibrancy. I allow myself to receive all of the positive energy that I can imagine in this space, that I desire to have in this space. My comfort, my positive vibes. And as I receive these vibes, I trust. I trust what actually does feel better. I give myself permission to believe in my own impact. And I allow myself to feel gratitude for my body and my brain for allowing this shift to occur. And as I receive this comfort into this space, I give myself permission to receive this for as long as I want and to receive it as many times as I want. I could do this again in 2 minutes if I wanted to. I can set the intention for this to keep pouring all night long while I sleep. I give myself permission to be my own solution and to explore all of the ways that that's possible and to enjoy exploring it. It's okay for this to be a positive experience. And as I allow myself to receive, I deeply and completely accept myself. We're going to do just a little bit of a tapping to close. As I come to an end of this tapping session, I acknowledge any and all shifts that have occurred within my body, within my mind, within my soul, within my consciousness, my awareness. Even the shifts that I may not be aware of at this time. And I allow these shifts to be enough. I allow them to be looking for the right word. I feel it. I allow these successes to be acknowledged as success. I allow myself to feel confident in this progress. I allow myself to celebrate this progress. I allow myself to feel safe with this progress. I allow myself to feel good about what I have accomplished and to feel confident in carrying this through and trusting that this is enough to make a difference. This was enough to really make a difference in what I am doing. My efforts are enough. Even though there's no one effort that does everything, I trust that every effort does do something. And that is enough for me to succeed. And so I offer myself this acknowledgement and recognition, and I choose to celebrate it. And as I move forward through the rest of this day and through the rest of this week, with this trust and acknowledgement and celebration, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and pause tapping and take a breath. So take a moment before we head out. I know we went over just a few minutes, and just acknowledge how you feel. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel more confident? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more safe? Do you feel more comforted? Do you feel sleepy? Does it just feel easier? All of these are positive signs that what you did made a difference, and your brain is accepting it and integrating it. And so moving forward is going to be easier. And congratulations on that. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been so wonderful to have you here. I hope to see you next week. If you're able to join me, I will be thinking about you. If you have any questions or requests for videos, please feel free to email me. It's at the top of the chat. My email is amanda@eftuniverse.com. I love you. Mwah. I hope to see you soon. Take care.